What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the pod vlog. I'm here with Evan Santangelo.
What's up, guys?
He's a skydiver. How many jumps?
Like at least 3 or 4.
At least 3,000 or 4,000 jumps.
No. He's like 1,100 or so.
I was gonna say close to 1,000 skydives. He's got his own business. He's killing it. So he's gonna show me how to jump. I've never done this before. I'm just kidding. I've done it. It's gonna be sick. So we're gonna skydive, and then we're gonna do the interview with him. He's killing it in business and skydiving, videography, all that stuff. So thank you, man. I'll see you in a minute.
Let's go.
Time in 2 weeks, that was great.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
Good pictures.
Sweet, dude.
Thank you so much.
You got it, man.
No, you're good.
No,
It was
you're
actually
good.
perfect. So we'll restart it because that was actually perfect. All right, so Evan, we'll start with an intro. You're a skydiver.
Are y'all gonna arm wrestle?
One more try. So you're a skydiver. It's been about 4 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Videographer, photographer.
Yep.
And you've started a business in like both of those, right?
Yeah.
So let's start with skydiving. When did you start skydiving and why?
So I saw this video when I was like 13, 14 years old, and I was this dude jumping out of a helicopter, flying a wingsuit. This was like super early wingsuit type stuff. I remember the video was like super like pixelated and all that kind of stuff, but it was this dude flying down the side of a mountain. I was like, one day I want to do that. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that, but I got as close as I kind of want to right now, just after getting into it and kind of, figuring it out. When I turned 18, my dad took me for my first tandem skydive, which is cool, pulled me out of school for that.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. And then, I'm like almost 30 now and been jumping for 6 years, so.
It's been longer than, yeah.
Yeah, 6 years or so. So I started when I was 24, 25-ish. And finally had the cash to make it happen, and been doing that pretty much ever since.
Nice. So you said the wingsuiting down the mountain. For those of y'all that don't know, there's a difference between skydiving and base jumping.
Yep.
Why don't you want to base jump?
Dude, it would be cool. Believe me, like I think it would be absolutely awesome. But I think that just getting into it a little bit closer now, you kind of have to really give up and dedicate a lot more than I'm willing to currently to get into base jumping and all that kind of stuff. I think that it would be awesome. I have a tremendous amount of respect for people that do it. One day I would like to do it, but I think that I'm not ready to give up basically everything that I'm doing right now to go pursue base jumping. So
no, that makes sense.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, maybe one day. Yeah.
I can see it.
I think that there are bigger priorities in my life that I'm shooting for. Being a little bit more successful with business and all that kind of stuff, and yeah.
So let's talk about that. You've been, and you drive it here, but you've been doing videography as long as I've known you.
Yeah, in some form or another for a really, really long time. Yeah.
And then that's where you built your business, right? So
yeah. So one of our good friends, actually, Evan Santangelo, was kind of the one that was like reached out to me on Instagram. And he's like, dude, can you edit some videos for me? Because I like the way you do it. I'll pay you. And so he was one of the first one. There was a handful of them. But then it just kind of started developing into that. And David actually also was he was like, dude, I got this project for work that I need to get taken care of. Here's a big budget that we got. And I was like, okay,
burn the
surplus. let's do it, man. Let's do it. So I've been working with him for a while, and just everything that I've kind of been doing, people have been kind of taking note, and it's been kind of word of mouth as well. So I've been doing some like helicopter tour companies, which is super cool. That was one based in Austin, some animation type stuff, which is what I really enjoy because I don't have to shoot any of it. And then I've done
I didn't know that. What are you animating?
So a lot of it is going to be like text, animation text, and infographics, things like that.
Yeah.
And so putting all those together, you should see what the video timelines look like. They look pretty much ridiculous.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, there's just like layers and layers and layers, and each of them are like compound clips, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wait till I never know until post. These videos are like 3 layers, you know? So.
Yeah. But yeah, with animation and different stuff going on, and like just using adjustment layers and color grades and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
So, and then you launched a course.
Yeah. So I had a handful of people that were on Instagram like, dude, can you get on the phone with me for like a consultation, just kind of help me out with video editing? And they're like, yeah, I'll pay you. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. So I did that for a little bit. And then another one of our good friends, Naz, she was like, dude, you need to put together a course, because it's literally like you just do it once and you get it done. So I think I launched that back in, I want to say March, April-ish. And so it's been doing okay. I didn't really look at it as kind of like, I'm going to sell millions of copies. I just was kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to put this out there. And for the people that are interested in taking action sports videography to the next level. I mean, the concepts they all apply to every kind of video editing. You just have to know how to use them. And so, yeah.
I've used it. So you've built your YouTube channel. You've got a pretty big following now on Instagram.
Yeah.
And that's all been organic, right?
Yeah. So that was for Instagram, like over the last 3-4 months or so. It's just, I think maybe like 5-6 months ago, I was at like 3,000 followers, and Instagram had really punished me back in the beginning for using too many hashtags. So even to this day, I can't even get shown up for any like hashtags, even as specific as they are. Instagram won't show me in any hashtag.
Yeah, like the most recent.
So I went from like 500 followers to like 3,000, and that was all kind of just through hashtags, which was cool. And then I kind of been going between like 3,000, like 3,500 ever since then for the last few years, up until a few months ago where I had a few big ones pop off. I think there was one deployment video that I shot in slow motion. It was like 240 frames a second, really, really slow. People seem to really, really like that, and I think it did like 8 million views or so. And that paired with a handful of other kind of like really interesting short videos or Instagram reels. I think I'm like at 34,000.
Yeah, that's what it was this morning.
Yeah, something like that. So that's been pretty cool.
I'll post the videos like right here somewhere, and then link all of Evan's channels below.
Sweet.
What's like the coolest thing you've done? What's your most favorite part of what you're building, whether it's the YouTube, because you're vlogging, right?
I really like seeing messages of people that are like, dude, I've been watching your videos for a while, and 2 years ago I started AFF because of that, or something like that. I started skydiving, or started getting into video editing and all that kind of stuff. And people will write me kind of long messages all the time, which is super, super good and humbling. I really, really genuinely love reading those.
Awesome.
So just saying like, dude, you inspired me to, or you were part of it. It's never like only me, I never want to say that. But yeah,
it may have been, you never
they're
know.
like, dude, I've been following your videos for a while, and you kind of inspired me to start skydiving. And now I had one guy, I think he was in the UK. He's like, dude, about a year ago I saw your videos, and then I got into skydiving, and he's like, now this Sunday I'm taking my first wingsuit course. So I thought that was super, super cool, man. Very, very fulfilling, and because I just want everyone to have fun.
Well, you probably are like your wingsuit guy that inspired you. You're probably that person for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to look at it that way, but yeah. I don't even know who. I tried to find that video like dozens of times. I still can't find it on YouTube. Yeah, it's probably buried like deep in the 500th page of
back from 2004 or something when they first launched.
Yeah, it was probably in the 90s, honestly. Like very, very beginning. The camera quality was terrible. But I was like, this is cool, man. This is cool. Yeah. So now I just shred clouds. Actually, cut that part out. I don't touch clouds at all, guys.
That's bad.
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch clouds. I never touch clouds.
Yeah. No clouds, we're all current.
Yeah. For the most part.
What's next? What are you building now? Are you just gonna keep building your channel? What's your goal?
I would like to, I mean, social media has been cool to see grow. Kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't. Right now I'm just kind of focusing on bigger and better video editing projects. And so, yeah, that's what I'm really enjoying right now, kind of upgrading the gear that I've got right now. Right now I've got an iMac with a screen that is completely slashed in half almost because I upgraded it and geeked out on the inside of it. I opened up an iMac and like upgraded the RAM and upgraded the, not the processor, but like the SSD and all that kind of stuff.
Did you break the screen when you did that?
Well, so the screen was already slightly broken when I got it, so it was like a $600 computer, which was a pretty stinking good deal, honestly. But yeah, I've just dealt with that, and then I opened it up and sealed it back up, and then one night at like 4 in the morning, I just hear a big crash, and on my desk, like the screen just falls off, and it's laying on my office chair right there. Luckily, the cable or the ribbons to the screen didn't break, but yeah, it was pretty funny. So now I've just got a big slash right through the center of it, and yeah. Kind of
That's
thing.
your moneymaker too.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, it's fast.
Yeah.
Like it's still fast, but I still got a big slash right in the middle. So
you can only use use half of it.
Yeah. So I'm looking to upgrade my gear. Probably gonna pick up a Mac Studio pretty soon. Do a little bit more. I think they're called Franken Macs, where you kind of like edit or like modify some stuff and just use the screen of an iMac, but not the internals. And there's like some cool stuff that you can do. Super nerdy wormhole that I've gone down.
I got the M2 and I love it, man.
You really?
I'm not doing anything close to what you're doing, but it's so fast.
Yeah. Apple chips are pretty stinking good.
Yeah. I don't like Apple, but they won't be over on this one. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously this is your hobby. So sometimes I ask people like how much money you're making, and it doesn't really matter. It's more about like, can you sustain yourself doing what you like? Can you make money off of, renting motorcycles, skydiving, or like whatever someone wants to do?
Yeah, sure. I think one of the biggest things that I'm constantly struggling with, and it always seems to be a seesaw of back and forth, like, because I do this as a passion. I enjoy building my YouTube, but I also do it for money.
Right.
And there's a constant battle and a swinging back and forth or a seesaw of, okay, I need to make money, and then when I get too tired of, just need a release from the actual work projects, the release is very hard to just open up another project that I'm, a skydiving project, because I'm just doing the same stuff.
Right.
Even though I love editing the content differently, it's still editing, and then also, it swings back the other way and I get too involved with the vlogs that I'm putting out and just the edits that I'm putting back, and I'm like, well, okay, crap, now I need to stop this and do more editing on the business side, and meet project deadlines and that kind of stuff. But
and those new projects are more what pay the bills, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've had a handful of promotional shoots for within skydiving stuff. I shot a promotional shoot for a juice company that was in like Whole Foods, I think, and they found me on Instagram, and we put together a really cool little promo video for them. And one of my buddies actually flew up with one of their drinks in the hand and gave it to my sister, who was riding on top of me in a wingsuit, and she pops it open and drinks it while she's riding on my back in a wingsuit, So it was pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
I wasn't there when you guys did that one, but I remember. I'll put that in the middle.
Yeah. It was a really fun. It only took one jump, and I think they paid me like $2,000 or something like that for that. So I mean, there's a lot of back end stuff that was going on, but yeah, it was pretty fun project. If I could do like 2 of those a month in addition to what I'm doing, that would be absolutely sick. That would be sick.
I think you probably could. I think there's probably a
so with the new following, I think just since I've grown, I feel like I'm perceived as a little bit more of a, kind of like a, better in the. I have a bigger authority, right? So.
Absolutely.
I'll start. I've got a whole spreadsheet of brands that I need to contact. Hopefully they're not like, we'll give you some free products and you just shoot content for me. That ends up being really like, I had that phase and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
You got your portfolio.
Yeah, I've got my portfolio for one, but also it's like I'm at a point where I don't need to be paying for my own jump tickets to get you content.
Right.
And, and then usually I'm having to pay a camera guy or cover their slot or something like that. So it's not profitable, and it's not, it kind of takes it's too much work for not enough like payoff.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good things to think about, because if you're like me on the business side where I've got a brand to promote, or I've got to think about, if I want to come to you and I don't have a lot of money to spend, how can I make that valuable to you?
Sure.
Like at the very least, like you said, I'm doing free product, I'm paying for your jumps,
Sure.
paying for your time, and then whatever extra I can afford. And then
Yeah.
if you're coming at it from the creator standpoint where you are, like build your portfolio, do stuff for free, like you've done all of that.
Yeah, and I think, dude, that's been a big thing, is just do stuff for free, or even, I mean, just charge a little bit for it, you know, just so that you can build that portfolio. Yeah, or just create your own products, create your own, basically edits, you know. Say, or just go grab a Red Bull from the store or whatever, and just make a video based on that. I have a handful of different like soda companies that I've just picked out at HEB, you know, a local grocery store, and just shot some videos for them, just little things just to play around. I never really published them anywhere, but it was just good to kind of increase my skill and kind of get a little bit better at what I'm trying to create, you know.
Right. And now you've got the portfolio to send to brands if you wanted to.
Yeah,
like, all that.
Yeah, so that's been pretty cool.
So you got 1,100 something skydives.
Just under 1,100, yep.
Any other hobbies? Or are you sticking with this for a while?
Oh, I mean, I play guitar. I do it for money, which is, even though I don't really view it as that, like I play for a large church in San Antonio. I've been doing that for, well, this specific church, I've been doing that for about 6 years, 7 years. And so that's been a lot of fun. I get to play with a lot of really, really talented musicians, but I think that I've kind of found my niche within that. Like I'm really good at recreating the stuff that we pick for the weekend to play.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just consider myself a niche guitar player, you know. And yeah, we play for a pretty big church. It's a lot of fun. We use state-of-the-art equipment, which I'm super, super grateful to be able to use. And yeah, a lot of fun, man.
It was funny when I was watching your course and you were talking about editing to music.
Yeah.
And you dropped in like 8 notes or something, and I was like, I don't know, you started talking about music, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, so yeah, there's so much that I do with, audio, just layering and blending, you know, cutting stuff where it needs to go, and even taking audio tracks that need to be, if they're 3 minutes and I need to cram them into 1 minute, you know. I see music like, it really is like a puzzle piece, because you've got like an intro, a chorus, a verse, you know, pre-chorus, that kind of stuff, and all of those are sections that I can just move around and cut and splice and basically just fade them into each other.
Yeah.
And so having that knowledge of music has really helped me a lot.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So you're killing this business. Like I said, everything he's done is organic. So you've put out all the content on your channel. I don't know if it seems like it to you, but it's everywhere now. Like I see it all the time.
Cool.
So
sweet.
I've followed you obviously since I met you, but I feel like you've picked it up a lot, posting everywhere.
It's hard for me to tell that, honestly. And every once in a while I'll reach out to some of my friends. I'll be like, hey, do you think that I'm getting better? Or like I just keep doing kind of the same stuff to me, but I pick up little things along the way. It's easy for me to not realize, you know, I've had the same kind of tools for the past 3 years or so. And it's hard for me to tell, so I kind of have to go outside and be like, hey, what do you think about it? Do you think that, you know, this edit compared to this one is getting better, or, you know, is it? And I try and play around with a lot of stuff, because it really is like an art form. I don't really consider myself an artist, but I think by a lot of other people's standards, I would be.
Yeah.
But and what's really thrown me off now is short form video. Because short form video will blow up like crazy.
Right.
And that doesn't make sense to me. Because I mean, I'm making stuff for businesses, I'm telling stories, you know, making edits and stuff like that. And so when I put together this great thing and it gets 1,500 views on YouTube, or I put together a slow motion, you know, deployment video and it gets 8 million views on Instagram, it's just like, it doesn't make sense to me, and it kind of bothers me a lot. But you know.
Yeah, you can break it down, but there's no science to it. And it's like, you can kind of figure out what things work.
Yeah. I mean, well, you got to follow the trends too, you know. I mean,
the
trend is kind of going more towards short form video right now. And so people's attention span is dropping, and so I think my goal is kind of to reel them in with the short form video. It's the same thing I'm doing with YouTube Shorts right now. So just kind of hammering out maybe like 3 of the Instagram stories. I'm repurposing all of my Instagram stories that I've had just in a vault for the last 3-4 years that I've been making.
Yeah.
Super easy, you know. And so I've got this whole vault and library. It's probably like 300 different 15-second clips.
Nice.
That I'm throwing on YouTube 3 times a day, and some of them pop off, some of them don't. You know, some of them get like 25 views, and some of them get 14, 24,000 views. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really just figuring out what hits and what doesn't. And honestly, I'm just repurposing all the content, and just pushing it out in a slow, steady stream.
Well, like you said, if you're not even doing a whole lot differently, but you're out there all the time, what you're doing isn't broken. So it's not like you need to do it a whole lot better, but now you're everywhere. So I guess being omnipresent's the goal, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you got any advice for anybody skydiving or starting a business or doing both?
Dude, skydiving is a lot of fun. Go check it out. Very fulfilling. It's expensive, but it's definitely something that you should get into and at least experience. Do a tandem for sure, because yeah, I mean, just traveling anywhere. I mean, I was in Colorado a few weeks ago. I went back to Colorado actually, and then before that was in San Diego. And so just kind of bring your rig everywhere, and you can just. It's cool. What kind of blows my mind is like just the people that live in those surrounding areas. The ones who've never skydived have never seen like what I'm able to see when I just go jump, you know. Jumped kind of not over the Rocky Mountains but the Rocky Mountain foothills were in the distance.
Probably
and so
still see them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just right there. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, Costa Rica was cool. I went with Jungle John.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, I agree. It's not that expensive either. Like,
yeah, I mean, if you put it in comparison, like if you were to get into ATV, I mean, dirt bikes, you know, any other like action sport, I think it's going to be relatively about the same. I mean, you're looking at spending maybe like $7-8 grand in your first year, and then $30 a jump. Every time you want to jump.
Travel the world, and like you said, you can't beat the views.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. It's just there's definitely some awesome places. I haven't jumped in Hawaii actually. I went to Hawaii twice and wasn't able to jump.
I remember because of COVID hit.
So they shut down literally right on the day that we were headed to the drop zone. So that really blew. But yeah, Costa Rica was cool. I only did one jump down there after hauling all my gear down there, which
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I was only one jump.
Damn.
One jump, and I hauled all my gear down there. But yeah, jumped in a lot of places. It's very fulfilling, rewarding. The people are pretty cool if you find the good ones.
It's just like any sport.
Yeah, it's like any sport, man. It could be. Yeah, you just gotta make sure you're surrounding yourself with good people who are gonna push you forward. You know.
I compared a lot to riding motorcycles. It's like this is actually less dangerous. But there's people that there's different types of riders. There's different types of like things you can do.
Well, there's different types of skydivers.
Exactly.
I on the 1 to sketchy scale, I'd probably put myself at like 8 because we love to try all the things, all the things. Like yesterday, I was actually trying to fly with my buddy as a pilot in his Cessna 182, and the dude just like buzzed me. After I'd exited, this was like 30-45 seconds after he had exited, and he just kind of just right next to me.
That's Red Bull shit.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of made me pucker up a little bit. Yeah, but no, it was pretty sick. Just the stuff that the relationships that I've been able to build and like with the key people, and they're like, yeah, man. I mean, we trust you. You know, do that. I try to ask a lot of questions, not just like a gung ho, like, hey, let's do it, whatever.
Dude, you're super knowledgeable.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just comes from asking a lot of people, a lot of different things that have more experience than I do.
Absolutely. So, I always ask Evan when I have questions. So. All right, man. Last question. Do you ever rest?
Never, bro. Never.
First one to get it right.
Never. Never.
Well, bro, that was it. I mean, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was a good jump with you again.
Yeah, it was great. It was, I don't know, I landed, we made it.
A little bit crosswind, but it was good.
Yeah, I landed just fine.
I mean, it was better than my landing a few weeks ago, man. Dude, we went downhill, downwind. I ate it so bad. Dude, look at this scratch. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but like this whole scratch on my helmet, it was hilarious. There was weeds sticking out of here.
I saw that too.
It was ridiculous, man. I was so disappointed.
It happens to the best. We did one of our first jumps, like after my license. Eric, I won't put any names, but 3 of us jumped in suits.
Oh yeah, you kooks.
Oh man, like it was an awesome video, but like all the other jumps before that were great.
Yeah.
And then then I totally fucked that up. Like we were gonna track and
It's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, hit the runway and fucked up my suit and it was bad. So
Yeah, it's funny stuff, man. You're gonna have a bunch of stories in skydiving.
yeah. Thank you, bro. Let's get back
Absolutely.
out there.
Yeah, man.
See you again. I'll link all of Evan's stuff below. As always, guys, never rest. Go do some skydiving.